Good morning, everybody. Welcome into my live video portion on YouTube here, or I guess wherever you're getting this. It's the morning after the Colorado State Rams just absolutely embarrassed Virginia, 67-42. And just, I mean, for Virginia, just an embarrassing loss for them. And obviously, a lot of the national narrative depends on where you're looking is about, hey, Virginia was just a bad team or a bad night. They caught Colorado State on the great night. We all know what this is. Colorado State is a ridiculously good basketball team. Yes, I've talked about it on my whole show on KFKA weekdays 11 to 2. Colorado State did have an interesting time in the Mountain West. We've discussed it. They struggled on the road, won a lot of games at home, but they're still a great team. I stand by it. The Mountain West is legit. I mean, they're going to have a tall task in front of them coming up starting tonight with Boise State and CU, but coming up in this tournament, there's some difficult matchups for Mountain West teams, but I don't think that will fairly tell the whole story. All that being said, 67-42. I mean, Virginia had several minute spans where they just couldn't score the basketball. CSU's defense was pretty good. Virginia was bad. I will give you that. Virginia just couldn't hit any shots. But Colorado State, man, I mean, everything was working for him. Joel Scott. Joel freaking Scott. This dude, I tweeted this out a while ago. He's the kind of guy gets his lunch pail, gets up early, gets his lunch pail, goes in, punches his ticket or whatever you do back in the day, those old cartoons, and just goes to work. That guy was grinding. He missed a couple of easy for me to say, easy layups early. He did not let that discourage him at all. He kept grinding. He kept getting the ball in the paint. He kept pump faking. He kept going up strong. Man, he wanted it. Neat Clifford, my guy. I said, I think he's going to have a big game tonight. He did. He had 17 points, 10 boards, and 6 assists. He was a monster out there. Joel Scott, 23 points and 11 boards. I mean, he was the MVP of that game. So I was close, but yeah, this was a statement game. This was, I don't want to see Virginia embarrassed. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want to see student athletes embarrassed, but it is a little bigger than that. The Mountain West was absolutely disrespected. Colorado State being in a play-in game, being considered the last one in or the last team in, to beat a team 67-42, not only shows the committee that you are a good basketball team, a great basketball team, but you screwed up royally. You shouldn't have put us in here. Shouldn't have put Virginia in probably. But I'm not going to sit here and study Virginia's schedule. I know they lost a lot of big games where they lost by a lot of points this year. And CSU just did whatever they wanted. And Virginia's style of play is, okay, we're going to play great defense. We're going to take the shot clock down to about 2 seconds and get up most of the time a bad shot, at least in that game. That style just doesn't work anymore. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work. But the Rams just annihilated Virginia. And I was so happy to see it. I like watching good games. I hope CSU and Texas, I hope that's a good game. But this one, I didn't hope it was a good game. I was wanting the Rams to absolutely blow Virginia out of the water to make a statement for the conference, for Colorado State, for Nico Medved, for Isaiah Stevens, are probably the greatest Ram ever. It was a phenomenal night for Rams fans, and you deserved it. I mean, you guys were very upset, and I was upset. You look at this and go, all they got to do is beat San Jose State in the tournament, and that's their easy punch. But turns out that if they hadn't found a way to beat Nevada, they wouldn't have got in. And it took that to get them to the play-in game, which is ridiculous. I think I saw one media guy, I don't know who it is, say something like, it was the fact that a lot of the Mountain West teams' wins came against each other. Well, that wasn't the case for CSU. You can't just do a blanket statement thing and say this is why Mountain West teams didn't get higher. Well, then why did CSU get a play-in? They were 12-1 in non-conference play. They whooped up on Creighton. They beat Creighton about like they beat Virginia. And this was just, again, and you got the Rams. They had to, get on a plane right after that game, get to Charlotte, travel. Whatever. It's part of the madness, I suppose. But overall, it was awesome to see this game. Patrick Cartier coming up with some nice plays. I think, Jalen Lake Jalen Lake was solid too. Defensively, I think they did a really good job. And again, Virginia was just bad. That was bad. It was embarrassing for Virginia. But what do you do against bad teams? If you're a great team, you absolutely whoop up on them. The national media is going to say that it was a bad night for Virginia and they caught CSU at the wrong time. Listen, I thought that was going to happen. I knew CSU was going to be pissed about this. I just had that feeling. Nico Medved's a nice guy. He's a great guy. Ali Faroukmanesh, the coaching staff, they're all great. But don't let that fool you. Don't let the smiles and the fact that they truly are good people, don't let it fool you when it comes to the basketball court. They were mad. They were upset. They wanted to prove a point in a big way, not just win this thing, but win big. There was really no doubt after 4 or 5 minutes. You could just see it. Once Neek kind of got hot, this thing was over. But Rams fans, how we doing? How we doing on that one? You got to feel fantastic today. You made it in to Thursday. You're in the first round now, which is, again, you should have just been there anyway. But I can't lie. Selfishly, had fun last night. That was a blast. I put off watching the Nuggets Timberwolves game live, recorded it, watched it later. That's why you see the bags, I'm getting older too, so that doesn't help. But what a night for Colorado State. They poured it on. They made an example. They made a statement. They got the blowout win. And, I do think that the committee, whether it's right or wrong, looks at the past and says, hey, we put a bunch of Mountain West teams in. How did they fare? Well, this is bigger than that. This is one of those big games, guys. It's not just CSU winning and getting into, the first round of March Madness. This was a statement for the entire conference. So I know Wyoming and Boise State and Air Force, you guys don't like each other. You don't like CSU. I get it. And they don't like you. But you should be pretty happy. You should be pretty proud of Colorado State and what they did. Because that win might wake up the committee. Even if the Mountain West doesn't have a big showing in the tournament this weekend, it's going to be very difficult for more than 2 or 3 teams to get past the weekend, to be honest with you. But that win right there, I think, did make a statement. I hope, anyway. Colorado State wins big. Monster night for Joel Scott, Nick Clifford. Congratulations to Nico Medved, to Isaiah Stevens. I love following these guys. We're going to talk about it today. 11-2 on 103.1 and 1310 KFKA if you're in the northern Colorado area. But you can listen to us from anywhere. You can listen to us from China if you want to at 1310kfka.com or via the TuneIn app, and I think it's free. So there's no reason to miss the whole show. We're going to break into this game. Amazing night, fun night. Let's see if the Rams can pull off something special coming up on Thursday. Goodbye, everybody.